Today I'll be discussing the two articles we had to read for discussion 4, the airport and the amusement park articles. So in the first article, the airport UX fail, the author talks about how at an airport kiosk she had to scan her passport on the right, but also had to scan her right thumb on the left side. And so that made it a little bit awkward for her having to scan on one side and then bring her thumb over, and she just found that very awkward. And so this presents a failure in the user experience for not only that person, the person using the kiosk, because it's awkward for them. But I also thought it was interesting how in supply chain we talk about how even just the slightest additions of time in this sort of in like the line setting, and one person having to spend a little bit of extra time doing something means that everybody else has to wait too. All of those extra seconds add up. And so when you have hundreds of people at an airport all waiting in line trying to use the kiosks, these very small logistical failures really add up and can increase the time that people have to wait. So one question I have about that might be, how can companies try out these different kiosks without fully implementing them, but get customer feedback and maybe observe how people are using them in order to find those really small failures that you wouldn't really maybe notice until a lot of people have tried them. So how can companies be better about that and take more preventative measures in order to avoid that and make sure that their lines are moving as quickly as possible and providing the people the smoothest experience possible at their business. So in the next article, the amusement park article about Disney and the Flying Turn ride, the author talks about how user experience is defined as a concept that encompasses all aspects of the end user's interaction with the company, its services, and its products. But more interestingly, I found the concept of experience architects and how experience architects study the interaction of users with the whole entire product, website, or business to understand and be able to design for the people and based on what they actually do, not based on what they say they want. I thought this was really interesting because experience architecture seems to meet the needs that consumers don't even know that they have. You can do a lot of surveys and ask people, how do you think this might be improved? What can we do better? What do you want to see? But ultimately, there's a lot of things that consumers don't even realize that will benefit them or that they want. I thought one example of this might be with iPhones, different new features on iPhones. You don't even know that you want that, but then once you get it, you really like it. So a question in that context might be, in what context or marketing situations do consumers maybe not know what's necessarily best for them? And in what contexts would user experience like architecture studies be more beneficial than just survey results? With Disney, they would study how people move and how, crowds operate and then build around that to make the best user experience without people necessarily saying that they wanted these things. And so I was just wondering if you guys think there are any other different markets or businesses or industries where this can be utilized. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you.